coming through when the growth look good on you. Best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep fitting in love.
Yes, peoples G, and we are back in the building. Today's going to be a bit of a tough video. It's going to be a bit of a tough one, man. I know there's a lot of people already smiling. That they wanted me to speak on this. You know what I mean? They've been asking me the question in regards to this player. You guys can see it in the title already. Mo Salah or no Salah? Do you know what I mean? And at this present moment in time, it's seeming like the latter. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. This one's gonna hurt. This one's gonna hurt a little bit. But before we even dive into that, guys, please make sure you like. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Trying to grind out these videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you do so. We are just a couple off of the target of 200. So hopefully we can get that ASAP. Like I said, trying to hit that target before the end of the January transfer window. So let's dive into it. Obviously yesterday, on the Jerry James show, if you guys haven't already, please make sure you check it out. We spoke obviously about the Liverpool-Chelsea game. And that's where we, had a little bit of the pre-conversation or the preview to, this video that I'm doing now. This one's a tough one, man. Like I said, man, Mo Salah is my favorite player in the team. I've backed him in every way, in every single way. When the debates were going on between him and Sadio Mane, when Mane was still at the club, I still backed him. The contract situation, I backed him. Literally since he walked through the door, one thing about Salah, what I like personally, is that I think he has this elite mentality. Doesn't always show up in elite performances, as we're gonna get into, but he has this elite mentality. He's one of them players who, one, he believes his own hype, but he's able to produce that, season in, season out, last 5-6 seasons or 5 seasons, that he's been here, he's just shown everybody that this is a guy who, no matter what's going on around him, he's still going to get his, and there's something in that, there's a level of selfishness that I always feel that top players need to have anyway. And he's definitely one of them. He's definitely someone who, I wouldn't say he puts the team first at times, has been labelled quite greedy, but at the same time, when you score as many goals as he does, when you assist as many goals as he does for a winger, why would you? Especially when you are dwarfing the numbers that, most of the other players in the team, are actually getting. And look, at the end of the day, some people like it, some people don't like it. You can use it to your advantage or to your narrative. At the end of the day, his stats are what we would like to say he's a bit of a stat merchant. He's a stat padder at the end of the day. He's played 29 games this season. He's got 23 goals and assists. But if you looked at his performances, you would never ever think that. And that's the thing, with Mo Salah. Obviously, he's got a hat-trick against Rangers. He got a double against Spurs. So, of course, those kind of things, will spike up the numbers. But when you're looking at his overall performance on the football pitch this season, it's been overall a 5 or a 6, Yes, you've had your games where you've played, would I say somewhat decent, but even in some of the games that he scored, like even in the Spurs game, I don't remember him playing particularly well. I didn't say it was rubbish, but just not really well, but he was just there, right time, right place kind of thing. Almost that kind of Haaland effect. But the difference is between a Haaland and a Mo Salah is that Haaland's job, as the main central striker in the team is to kind of get out of the way of general play and then, be on the end of things. Whereas Mo Salah is or was supposed to be the guy who, would help out in the build up, and be just a lot more effective, just like he was at the beginning of his career here at Liverpool. But he just, since AFCON last year, Jan, him and Sadio Mane it's like they just both fell off a cliff after that AFCON. I just didn't really, Sadio was lucky because he was able to move into a central position. And once he moved into that central position, you could see, okay, we weren't getting the Sadio back, but we were at least getting better performances out of him. With Mo Salah, I this is why I say this one hurts, because I don't even know what to do with the guy anymore. I don't know what would be best for him at this current moment in time. For me, if we had adequate cover, I would say you just drop him. You drop him, it's easier. And also let him know and understand that, yes, you're the guy on the big bucks, you know, a bit like what, Mikel Arteta did with Aubameyang. Obviously, that was more disciplinary and stuff like that. And then over time, you know, once it continues, of course, you have to let these players go. But he also showed the rest of the squad something, which is, I don't give two that you're, you know, making the most at the football club. I don't care if you're the captain of the football club. What I care about is the actual football club. What's going to be best for the football club. At times, I don't think Jurgen Klopp does that. I think not that he's, you know, purposely trying to do that. I just think that with his naivety and his loyalty towards, you know, certain players and certain things, you know, it kind of it kind of clouds his judgment at times. I've always thought that with Jurgen Klopp. I think he's just that way inclined, to be honest with you. It works sometimes, it doesn't work others. You know, sometimes with Mo Salah, he just plays him into form. You know, he'll, you know, have a bad spell for 4 or 5 games and then poof, you know, he's just back on the scoring trail again. And like I said, with a player who's able to score 2s and 3s in games, you can, if you scored, let's say 2 in one game and then a hat trick the next game, that's 5. You can now go the next 3 games and not do anything. But either way, you're going to have 5 and 5. So it's like that's always the kind of thing with a Mo Salah, you know, but before it was a lot more consistent, you know. But like I said, since January, you know, since he came out from AFCON, it's just been downhill. And like I said, he's my favourite player in the team. But I just don't know what to do with the guy anymore. I honestly believe that. You know, the game against Chelsea, I just felt like he was almost just non-existent. He had that one run that he did, passed it off, I think, then to Gakpo, and then Gakpo skied it. But, you know, other than that, there was really nothing else in you know, his overall performance in that game. But it was almost like a game that I've seen him have so many times this season. And for me, it's just a case of like, why? Like, what is this? You know, what is it about players, you know, turn 30, get these massive contracts? And then the thing is, not even everybody actually, tell a lie. Because then I guess certain other players, we've got to be worried about them. Maybe you've got to let players go before they even hit 30, so you don't even get into that situation, you know. But James Milner doesn't seem to have done that. You know, if anything, he seems to, I wouldn't say excel, but, you know, he's just been able to maintain, you know, his level of performances. But Mo is just, you know, Jerry and Roms were saying yesterday on the show, you know, about, you know, Mo Salah being that player who kind of takes the mantle. You know, he's going to take it into his own hands. The team are going for an absolutely poor time of it, you know, this season. Like really poor time of it. Not even just, oh, we're sitting 3rd or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Like a really poor time. We're down joint 9th, you know. And this is where we want you as the guy that we're paying the most at the football club. You know, the guy that we went out of our way to, you know, to get you to sign this deal. You know, we sold players, you know, we got rid of one of the best players to play for Liverpool so that you would sign this deal. But you're not putting in the performance. I need you to take the game by the scruff of the neck. I need you to pull a rabbit out of a hat, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, you're being paid the wages of a man who's able to do that, which is what Jerry said. And I totally agree, you know, and we're not seeing that. And because we're not seeing that, when he's now gone, 3 games, I think it is, like, in a row, where he's not even had a shot on target, you know, that's not good enough. You know, that is not good enough. You know, and we're seeing too many of these kind of performances throughout the season, especially this season. And again, I don't like the excuse that, because the team are performing badly. So I'm like, no. You, who's supposed to be the talisman in the team, are performing really badly, to the point that Darwin Núñez has come into the football club and he is a more effective player. We look far less effective with him on the pitch. With him, not on the pitch. You know, but with Mo Salah on the pitch, I feel like we don't necessarily even need him. You know, and, you know, Jerry made a good point yesterday on the show, you know, and again, guys, make sure you go and watch it back, is that how can you be paying someone 350k a week and we're all sitting there saying, maybe he needs to be dropped. You know, we need to get that replacement in, you know, ASAP. That shouldn't be the case. That should not be the case. The case should be that even though, yes, he's going to have poor games every now and again, and that's absolutely fine. But you know, we shouldn't be looking at our talisman like this. You know, he should be the least of our concerns, you know, but at the moment he's becoming one of the major concerns in the lineup. And again, to Klopp and his loyalty, you know, Klopp might turn around and say, I don't have anyone to play there. We saw the lineup that he put out, especially the attack that he put out against Chelsea, completely mismatched, absolutely got it wrong. I think that's an L on Jurgen Klopp in that regards. Didn't make any sense, the positioning of some of the, you know, like Harvey Elliott, Gakpo and that. But, you know, for this season, when it comes to Mo and some of the positions that he's been told to take up and stuff like that, it's just not suiting him. And I don't really know what to do. Should get him close. People say, yeah, get him closer to goal, then he'll do this, that, and the third. He needs like a Nunes to kind of feed off and, you know, etc., which is fine. But that is absolutely fine. You know, I'm not gonna sweat it. But when there are the times when we say don't have a Nunes, you cannot look this ineffective. It doesn't make any sense. You know, you are the talisman at the end of the day. You cannot be this. Was it all because of Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino? Was that the reason why you were so good throughout all of these years? Were you not really putting in the effort as much as them, and they were the ones who were feeding you? You know, the team knew that you were the guy who was going to get the goals, which is fine. Again, no issues. But are you putting in that work as well? Because at the moment now, when we need you, you're not putting in that work. You're putting in shitty performances. You're not living up to your end of the bargain when you sign that deal. And that is the key, and that is the problem. Considering we're a club who don't even really like, you know, that a deal like that is basically breaking us effectively. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that we do, you know, often give out that kind of money. But at the end of the day, we've done it for you. We didn't do it for Gerrard or Torres or Suarez or any of these other guys. We did it for you. And you're not giving us, you know, anything back to really celebrate, you know. Whether, you know, some people are asking, there's been reports, nothing confirmed, and I will take it with a pinch of salt anyway, in regards to Mo Salah and him potentially leaving, you know, in the summer. You know, PSG apparently are interested in him for about, I'd say between 60 and 80 million. Would you guys sell him? Let me know in the comments first and foremost. Would you guys sell Mo Salah in the summer? If so, for how much? You know, how much would you want to sell, you know, Mo for? How much do you think he's worth? Do you think we should just keep him? I think it will all come down to this whole ownership thing. You know, whether or not Liverpool are to get new owners, whether or not, you know, Liverpool are able to, whether or not we're able to get these new owners and spend some money. If we're able to do that, then you could potentially just keep him. If we get some money, because then we can still go out and buy replacements, go out and buy the cover so that Mo doesn't have to play all the time. And at least then, you know, it might just, you know, rejuvenate him as a player. If we need, if we still have FSG and we can't really spend that much money, then you may potentially have to sell him then, you know, to fund some of the other areas in the squad that are a bit more pressing. The problem is that you let Mo Salah go, it weakens us, you know, just that little bit more. Who's then going to play on that right-hand side? Yes, people are going to say, oh, maybe a Gakpo can play there, maybe a Diaz. They're not right wingers. They're just not. They're so ineffective from the right wing that you're going to have to start playing a completely different way, meaning this whole rebuild thing, it's going to take even lot. Like, there's a lot that does then come into it, because like I said, Liverpool got other areas of the pitch that need to be addressed. Mo Salah might want to leave. He might think, you know what, I've done everything I possibly can at Liverpool. I've won every trophy at Liverpool Football Club. What more do I need to do? You know, what more do I need to do to demonstrate, you know, to everybody, you know, how good of a player I am? Maybe now I move to a club that is just notoriously just known for winning, and is obviously then trying to win the Champions League in like a PSG, for example. I don't know if a Real Madrid would take him, especially after their situation with, you know, Eden Hazard, but I don't think Mo would turn out like a Eden Hazard anyway. I think that might be a different situation. I think they'll get better output from him instead. Just because of the type of individual that he actually is. So yeah, I don't really know. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Like I said, man. Like, what do you think? What do we do with a Mo Salah? Like, where do we kind of go with someone, you know, like a Mo Salah? You know, like I said, this is a guy who was at Chelsea before. it didn't really work out. Went to Roma. He was on loan obviously at Fiorentina. Went to Roma after that. You know, did really well at Roma, which is why we signed him. And I said this before about Gakpo in the last couple of days, and Mudryk. I said those two are like great examples. A signing comes in, you want to see just what he's about. You're not asking him necessarily, of course you would love it if they scored or assisted or whatever the case may be, but you're just asking to see why did we sign you? Like, what was the purpose of us signing you? Okay, with Mudryk, you can see it instantly straight away. This is a player who's quite dynamic. This is a player who's good at dribbling. This is a player who give him a bit more time with the team and stuff like that. You're gonna see his personality imprint on this squad, and this squad will then realize that he's probably one of the better players in that team. I looked at Gakpo and I was like, I don't understand what he brings to this Liverpool side. If anything, he's also becoming a tad bit of a hindrance, you know, even though he's just come, but he's not adding anything to the squad. I don't think he's not showing me that he's that good, but you know, time will tell in regards to that. But Mo Salah, the second he came, that debut against Watford, I believe, you know, he scored, and you can just see what type of player that he was all about, and he was just about the goals, man, getting in behind those defenses, just scoring those goals, and that was just Mo Salah. Obviously, you know, he's got the Premier League record 4 goals, which is going to get beaten by Haaland this season, but he's currently got that record, and he did that in his first season, and then the seasons after that, he was showing a level of consistency that just made you think, okay, this guy's serious. You know, this ain't a one season wonder. You know, as everyone used to always say. You know, when he first signed, they thought, this is only going to happen this season. No, he's a player who consistently will get you over 20 goals. So that's the bare minimum. Probably will get you 30 goals and assists more often than not, to be honest with you. I think there's probably a few seasons where he probably hasn't, but you know, he's someone who's in that kind of range bracket, and you know, he's someone who on his day, he's just unplayable. You know, you just can't get near him. You know, we saw what he did against City last season. You know, the early parts of the season. I think it was also Watford, you know, that goal. We love scoring a goal against Watford. But that's the Mo Salah that we want to see on a consistent basis. But if he is declining, like anybody potentially in his age might do, that's fine. But we need to come up with a new plan. We need to have a plan B. We cannot just keep trying to make plan A better. Shout out Kurdish, but he knows what I'm talking about. But that cannot keep being the theme. That cannot keep being the thing that we do is, okay, plan B is to make plan A better. There actually has to be a plan B. There needs to be a different way to play to be able to suit his skill set at this current moment in time. We need to figure out a way why he's not able to beat most left backs these days. You know, he's constantly locked up by these defenders. And again, that's not the Mo that I remember when he first came here. I want to see that Mo Salah back. And if we can't get that Mo Salah back, then you need time out of the football team. You need to be dropped. Someone else needs to play there. We might just get a different tune, like what we saw from Klopp in that midfield against Wolves. We might get something like that. So why not try that instead of worrying about hurting his feelings and you know he's on 300. We don't care anymore. You know that's not going to wash with individuals anymore. I'm not trying to throw him to the wolves. Like I said, he's one of my favorite, if not favorite player in the team. But I also understand the team's bigger than you. Yeah, I mean, you can go tomorrow. I'm not gonna cry about it. Gerrard left. I didn't cry about it, moan about it. Pfft. All right, it is what it is. Upset, of course. You know, one of my favorite players. But the team moves on. You know, we won a Premier League in that time. Yeah, so clearly it wasn't that bad. Clearly it wasn't such a big deal. But people make it out like it's always going to be such a crazy, massive deal. It's like, it's not that deep. It really isn't. The team and club will always keep moving forward. They'll get a better player in the future. They'll get another player who's going to be just as effective as Mo Salah eventually, you know, kind of thing. So we just need to, maybe Klopp just needs to stop being so loyal and just say, maybe you do need some time out of the team. Maybe you just need a little bit of a rest. We can't keep hinging on you. Darwin Núñez is back. So maybe we try something different, maybe a Núñez gap pot. So I don't know. I really don't know, but there just needs to be change. And Mo Salah himself needs to also start understanding that, you know, let's not act like, you know, your shit don't stink, my friend. Do you know what I mean? Let's not do that. Let's not pretend that, you know, it's all gold and roses, you know, with you, to be honest with you. So we wait and see. Honestly, we just wait and see. Hopefully, Mo Salah can pick up this form over the next coming few games. We've got Real Madrid coming up soon. We need him in some type of form. Otherwise, I mean, he doesn't really do well against Real Madrid anyway. I don't think he ever has for Liverpool. And I don't really expect that to change, even if he was in form. To be honest with you, I feel like they're very good at locking him up. They know how to lock up someone like a Mo Salah. Let's hope this time he keeps his mouth shut. Leading up to the game, and make sure, he doesn't give them any fuel and just concentrates on the game in itself. And then, we can take it from there. But guys, let me know in the comments. What do you think? Keep Mo Salah in the summer, or do you think it's about time we sell him? Obviously, not trying to be reactionary. At the end of the day, he's had these kind of patches before, but since January of last year, he has been quite poor, man. We can't look away anymore. And I think where the club needs such a rebuild, there's going to be questions asked about a lot of players, and a lot of players have got a lot to answer for. Like I said, if we get new owners and things like that, that rebuild needs to be just cutthroat. It just needs to be, all right, go. Simple as. But at the same time, if we don't get the new owners, and we can't spend the money that we would need to spend to be able to rebuild the squad, we're going to need to start getting creative with some of the things that we do. And, Mo Salah might just be a casualty of that. So let me know in the comments. What do you guys think we should do? Do you think it's hinging on, potentially new owners? Or forget the new owners, if we kept these owners, would you guys just sell him anyway? Or do you think we should keep him? Do you think, he'll come good eventually, even though it's been a year since we really saw the old Mo Salah? Is he on the way out? Not way out, but is he kind of like a Bobby, like a Sadio Mane? We don't know. But guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Mo. That's the end of the video. As I said, guys, thank you if you've stayed until the end. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are close to that 200 mark. And make sure you stay tuned to the Jerry James Show. This week we might be having another video. Guys, let me know if there's anything that you you want me to speak on. Any topics about the club in a general sense, players, manager, whoever, managers of other teams, thoughts on whatever. Just let me know, man. And I don't mind whacking out a video for you guys. But till next time, I'm G and I am out.